Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining me for today's reading on what it is that you need to hear right now. So, we have four groups to select from. For group one, we have the Petrified Wood with the EBEs. Group two, Black Tourmaline and Andromedans. Group four, Crazy Lace Agate and Thinker, or the number 44. And for group four, we have Kyanite and the cat right here. So take a moment to select your pile using your intuition, and I will see you in your reading. Okay, welcome pile one, the Petrified Wood pile, and what is it that you need to hear at this time? So this message that you need to hear is really discussing your spiritual journey, okay, and your transformation, I'm going to call it a remembrance of who you are, right? Here we have sacred purpose, eternal flame, ancestral legacy. So we have some really right here, these three cards right here with Isis, sacred contracts, the EBEs, mystery, reading between the lines, intuition, and then Kali Ma, spiritual transformation. I'm just feeling like this ancestral legacy refers to your origins, whether it's here with the EBEs, these are extraterrestrial biological entities, right? And it's been said that I think that there have been some remains found on Earth or whatever, but there's this connection, genetic connection of humans to these, extraterrestrial entities, right? And so when it talks about ancestral legacy, it's referring to having this origin of these ETs, or perhaps being from like a different star system or something like that, right? So it's talking about the eternal flame, right? And I just see you like waving, when like this, like say I have this feather and I have this flame, or say I have my smudge and I'm just fanning it to keep the light alive, keep the fire going, right? And I feel like that's the message for you right now is that this expansion in your consciousness, this growth that you are putting in, the inner work that you're doing, and this removal of the ego, which I'm seeing here with these, both of these cards actually, look at this, have these skeletons around her neck, right? And to me, this has to do with death. I mean, obviously, death. And then, but like death of the ego, death of the identity, right? And I feel like you're going through this inner transformation of removing things, like clearing away, right? When I see energetic clearing, this is sort of like death of the ego, emptying you of fear and attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. So it's like this removal that's taking place within you, right? So that you can reconnect to this, have a stronger connection to who you are, right? So this legacy. And so even with Isis, it's the same thing, sacred contract. So another message that I'm getting for you, because it comes with growth, the growth card. I want to expand my consciousness and awareness. And with this card and the first quarter moon, okay, both of these were in reverse. So that this has to do about growth. So the first quarter moon, it's like perhaps this is where you are in your growth, your expansion journey, your spiritual journey, where now it's like you're going through, you're starting to see. You've set your intention. You've been putting in the work, and you're starting to see little buds of things coming up for you spiritually, and you want to continue along in this growth. But it's almost like whenever we do, I find with the spiritual journey, it could be very, very difficult because it's like we get all of these, here we have sacred contracts. That's what we're talking about. So, say there's people or things that come in that are very challenging for you, right? And it's really meant to illuminate with the sun here, it's meant to illuminate, you know, your fears, your attachments, parts of you that perhaps need to be cleared away. So it's really important, and I think that's what you need to hear is like everything is working for you in the sense that the things that come to you are coming to you for a reason, right? And if and if something is, it's really important to try to, I'm just feeling like the hermit card, right? That introspection, spending time in solitude, like that inner harvest, like really looking to see what's inside of you, when you are triggered, when you are taken off balance, like we see here with the Two of Pentacles, like, and this kind of going up and down and up and down and up and down, and like it's like, I don't know, I'm just getting this need to surrender, like when you do go through these ups and downs, and really ask, like, what is it that I'm supposed to learn from this? What is it that I'm attached to? Why is it that I'm upset? Is because a big part of this journey is letting go of the old. The spiritual transformation is letting go of the old, like letting go of the ego, like sort of like removing this identity that you've been holding on to of who you are, so that you can really connect with your ancestry, your legacy, which are very like powerful, right? Very powerful with Isis and the ETs in Kalima, right? And so, it's this need to, it's a process. It's definitely a process with letting go. It's like in order to be things to be brought to light about, aspects of yourself, your ego, the things that you believed you were, or just your whole perception of reality, for things to really be illuminated, you are gonna probably go through this up and down, but it's really for you to let go of some of the anxiety around it, you know, and once that's cleared out of the way, it's like, say you get into an argument with someone, right? And it really affects you. It's like you have to feel it, release it, and then start to investigate, like, well, what's really going on within me, right? Because it's almost like everything is just like a projection, not even a projection, but things that trigger us. These are the things that are going to expand you. These are like, it's like spirit saying, okay, look over here, when you do get triggered, right? Because now when I'm looking at this knight of, and that's the compromise. That's what comes when I see this compromise card. Like, that's what comes with this growth, right? Is this difficulty, it is a very difficult process, right? To kind of get rid of everything that isn't you. And I'm seeing a lot of healing that needs to take place as well, and sacred purpose. I think that this is another thing that is gonna, that's another way that you're gonna end up connecting with your purpose, and whatever your purpose may be. But it's like through this connection, through this like death of the ego, and with this night of, and so that's the compromise, right? That's the exchange. It's like you have to let go of all these things that you thought that you were, in order to create the space, it's almost like a void, like create a void, so that spirit can pour in something new into it, so that you do have this like direct connection, this direct line to your ancestry and the wisdom and all that, right? So with the Knight of Swords, I'm getting it to go with this Nine of Swords in reverse. It's just talking about, and this holding on. So with the Knight of Swords, he's obviously like a very fast moving, very fast moving, and I'm getting this to be, what's really standing out on this card is the defensiveness of this character, right? The quick movingness of this character. And I'm just really getting like, be quick to clear your energy, so that you're able to see things more clearly, so that you're able to transform and to keep going, don't get caught up in, things perhaps not going your way or not working out the way that you expect them to. Everything is working out the way that it is supposed to. And a lot of things, and I do have to reiterate it, is happening so that it can illuminate and highlight things for you to work on, for you to continue to expand. And when we start getting, some growth, that's when sometimes fear, doubt kicks in. When we start getting a bit of pushback, say you're starting a business and everything is all good. It's like, oh, I want to go on this journey and I want to do this. And then and then you start getting pushback and pushback and pushback. And it's like, don't be deceived. With the Seven of Cups, it's like, don't let your imagination go all over the place. It's really, everything has been already orchestrated for you to lead you down your path, your spiritual path, right? And so just hold on to whatever growth and progress you have and just keep building on it, and always, like, the more that you do it, the more you'll see how it is elevating you. And the more that you overcome, the more confident that you're going to be in continuing, right? So extraordinary. There's a wild and impetuous uniqueness that deserves to be honored. So I'm, with this being in reverse, I really get the sense that, like, at some point, you're really going to step into this, like, peacock type of energy, which is really, like, about showing yourself, and a big part, again, it really has to do with this death of your former identity. And the only way is for aspects of your identity to be illuminated to you, through struggles, through hardships, through people poking at you, because how else will you know? How else will it be brought to your attention? Like, how else will you know what you need to let go of? How else will you know what you need to clear? Here I see him with these books. It's like he's studying, right? He's studying. I feel like he's, reading between the lines, mystery, reading between the lines. So I feel like even for you, it's really about reading between the lines, like really starting to look at things from a different perspective, like not taking things at face value, always trying to go deeper. Like the hermit card in the tarot is really about introspection and harvest, like going through. It's like doing an inventory on yourself when these things come up, like, and really taking the time to clear, because you do have to let go of a lot of these fears, a lot of these attachments. Let me give an example. So with fears and attachments and things like that, those things are going to throw you off from hearing and really connecting to your purpose and what it is, because certain fears and attachments are just going to stand in the way of it, right? So if you, for example, like the easiest example I can think of right now is if you have a religious upbringing, where you were to believe or made to believe, I don't know, certain things, like if you do this, you're going to go to hell or something like that. And part of your purpose requires you to keep an open mind in that area. You're not going to be able to move forward and grow and even accept your purpose until you start challenging some of those ideas, and those beliefs, and so that's sort of like that give and take, right? It's that, I let go of this so that this new can come in, so yeah, so that's the message that I'm getting for you, that you need to hear. But it's definitely like a step by step process. This is, gonna certainly take some time, and I'm seeing here with the ladder is like, it takes time. It takes time to go up the ladder, right? Because we're talking about old programming, old, and some of this, I feel like maybe some of this is karmic, when I'm thinking of like contracts, like soul contracts, people who, have been, are meant to come in to teach you certain things, to show you certain things, to highlight certain things about you, you know? Um, but certainly this card is like probably the most important message. It's like it's clearing your energy, right? So that you can receive, so you can really receive what it is, what your purpose is, um, whatever communication. You have to be in a certain vibration for it, and a lot does have to be cleared. A lot has to be transformed. A lot has to go for that. And so just always remember that whatever's, and I know it sounds cliche, it's like everything happens for a reason. Everything along your path is meant to actually aid you and help you. It's all a matter of your perspective. And that's what this transformation is. And I'm getting a lot of just fire. She's holding a fire here too. And it's like, um, it's reminding me like when I was a kid. I don't know why I feel like bringing this up. You know how people will talk about hell, since and I'm like, I don't know. I've always thought like, okay, it's hell, and I'm like, you know, and one of the reasons that I believed in hell, because I thought like, okay, well, fire purifies things. So um, now I have a different concept of, I don't know why I'm going on this tangent, but I just feel like it's like a burning away, a purification, you know, a melting, like this candle. You can see that it's melting, and then it can take another shape later on, right? Even with water, it just like purifies things, and I'm just feeling like, that's sort of what's gonna happen with you, right? Is this growth, and it's like, I don't know, it's just gonna heat things up. It's gonna heat things up, because it's like sometimes it's just, and I get that it's gonna be um a slow process. This is all a slow process. But, that's how it is when things cook, right? You just gotta cook it, right? And it just takes the time that it takes, and that's just what it is. But eventually, it's like this opportunity will come into you and in for you to really start over and move forward, as this peacock, like showing who you truly are, not um, not the ego self, not, you're not going to be driven. You're not going to be driven by fear. You're not going to be driven by, because when you're attached to things, it's like, I'm getting like devil energy with that, right? It's like being attached to things. It's like, how can you follow your purpose when you're attached, when you're controlled by? It's like it reminds me of like an addict or an alcoholic. It's like, do you think that you could really fulfill a purpose if you have an addiction? And I don't mean to say that in a judgmental way, but it's like that's what's controlling you, you know. When you're on your purpose, it's like you have to be present and following your intuition and moving with it. And so it's like you're submitting your will to the will of the creator, or to the spirit, right? So, but like, how could that be if your body has been hijacked by a substance, or by a fear, or by an attachment? It's like, so anyway, that's the message you need to hear, is that just hold on, and know that in the end, your purpose will be uncovered, and you will really be able to stand in your uniqueness, and everything that is causing you difficulty right now. That's just the price you have to pay, for the growth that you're seeking, for the ego death, for the change, the removal of your old identity, for like letting go of the fears, the attachments, that you have, the old stories, the old wounds, and just really, stepping into your light. So yeah, that's your message, pile one. All the best of luck to you, and I will see you in another reading. Like if you like this message, and subscribe if you like to see more. Okay, bye guys. Group 2, welcome to your reading with the Black Tourmaline. Okay, so what do you need to hear right now at this moment? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say, because it's really, really, really important, is that you need to be free. You need to be free to feel good about yourself. You need to, when I see this Nine of Pentacles in reverse, for you to be at your ultimate best, your ultimate sense of well-being, you need to feel free. You need freedom to express yourself, freedom to create, freedom to work on what it is that you want to work on, freedom to, because here we have the King and the Queen of Wands. Okay, they're both in reverse. And it plays such a big role in your overall sense of well-being. We have the health card here, which says, I will honor the physical vessel that cherishes my soul. We have the Nine of Pentacles, which also talks about independence, right? Being very independent. And I see this as tying into your sense of well-being, your sense of health, is your ability to work on yourself, your ability to work on what it is that you want to work on, and a big part of this has to do with, I want to say, creativity, or just creating. And I don't necessarily mean creativity in the sense of like creating artwork, but I mean creativity and the ability to manifest what it is that you want, because we're all creators, right? As humans, like, we are all creators. We're constantly creating, right? And here we have Andromedans. It's funny, we have two Andromedans cards right here: autonomy, free will, manifestation. So again, what I said, independence, autonomy, free will, being able to exercise your free will. With this trickster card, I get this, it looks like a magician, someone who is able to transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. Just being able to do what you want to do, create what you want to create, and bring about change, bring about innovation. And that's where your sense of abundance is going to come in, whether it's just your overall well-being, like whether it's physical abundance, material abundance, it's almost like all aspects of you, your mental health, right? Your physical health, all of these things are connected. With this abundance card, move with the flow of abundance around and through you, right? Even here with the solar light upgrade, solar plex chakra, inner fire, willpower. So it's a lot of fire here, even with the Ace of Wands, right? A lot of fire. And with this Three of Air, great sadness, time to heal, the need to forgive yourself or others. Maybe in the past, you've, because with this Three of Earth, right, is really about working in collaboration as part of a team, And like, I feel like for you, I mean, that isn't to say that you can't collaborate with others, but I feel like maybe you do your best work on your own. Or when you're running the show, when you're giving orders, like this King of Wands, he's the leader, right? He's very innovative. He, puts forth, a lot of energy into what he does, and he's able to multitask and take care of a lot of things and do a lot of things, and always finds a solution. Just very creative overall and very driven, very confident. That's where his confidence comes from. He's a very strong confidence. I'm just getting the Leo energy with this, right? And he's able to take something from just an idea and to really create something out of it, right? And so, with this jump in card, say yes to change. It's, really encouraging you to say yes and to just get out of the cycle of, doing the same shit, whether it's the same shit that you do all the time or the same shit that other people are doing, and to really start to create what it is. Because I also get the sense too with this Three of Air, and the sadness or, heartbreak or, struggles of the past. Maybe that came from, doing what other people were doing. And it's almost, I'm getting this feeling like, your blessings aren't going to come through by doing what other people do. Like you're more of a creator, an originator, a trailblazer, right? And so it's like the universe wants to support you in that, right? And it's saying for you to jump in, adventure, say yes to change, and it will support you doing that. But if it's like you're going against your inner, I don't want to say your inner self, but you're going against like what you're meant to do, which is to stand out, then it's like maybe that's why you've struggled in the past. Maybe that's why certain things didn't work out for you, and it feels like your energy went into, like, I feel like this is a black hole or something. It's reminding me of when people say, like, if something's meant for you, it will happen. So a lot of things, like when you go, when you do the standard things, like say the standard thing is like, okay, you go to school, you take these types of courses, go into this type of profession, it's like that very cookie cutter timeline, right? And it's like your effort, your energy has kind of went into this black hole and nothing really materialized out of it. And there's a sense of like sadness that's associated with it. And it's like, well, a lot of things didn't work out. And it's like also too, maybe you feel like you've been given bad advice, or advice that wasn't meant for you. And you kind of just went with it. And so it's like, I think part of the forgiveness process comes from you now taking the initiative, you now deciding for yourself that you're going to put your well-being first, your mental health first, your physical health first, all of it first, and to focus on what it is that you love. Like when I see this Eight of Pentacles, this guy is like so into what he's doing. Like he's far away from everyone else, and you could tell that he enjoys what he's doing. It's like he's in flow. It's a very different card from the Seven of Pentacles. Let me pull out the Seven of Pentacles because I really want to illustrate the point, because it's coming to me right now. Okay, where's the Seven of Pentacles? Just give me one moment, please. Here he is. Okay. You see, like both of these guys are working, right? And I feel like maybe in the past you were like the Seven of Pentacles. You're like putting in all this hard work, right? But it's like your heart's not in it, you're not backed by the spirit, you're just putting in the physical labor of it, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, now what? Is it going to grow? Is it not going to grow? Like, what's going on? Whereas here, this guy's also working, right? But he looks like he's really into it, right? And so this is where you need to be. Um, and I know it can be very frightening, like as I'm seeing with this moon card, it could be very frightening um, to sort of change courses and to go against the grain, to be the trailblazer, to work on your own, to take everything on your own. But that's sort of the sacrifice that comes with it, and I feel like there's going to be a really big payoff for what it is that you do. And it's also like there's going to be, with this Queen of Wands, it's going to be such a big payoff for you. Because it's like you just can't underestimate. Don't underestimate yourself. Like you're very much capable. Like you're being told like to say yes to this change, to jump in, to go for it, to follow your heart's desire. Don't overthink it. With the King of Wands, the Queen, like they do rely a lot on their intuition and that sort of, as opposed to logic and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, give it a chance. Like you're a very creative person. And it's not just for all the things that are going to come true for you. Is like there's going to be material abundance. You're going to feel good. Your health is going to feel good. If you stay and keep working like this, where you're working and you're putting in work and it's you're so disconnected for, like there's such a big difference between doing what you love and doing, you just working. You know what I mean? And like this is going to take its toll on your health, your mental health, your physical health, all that type of stuff. Plus, like, you're never going to realize your dreams like that. You're never going to feel good. You're not going to be in flow. You're never going to feel abundant. It's going to kill your willpower or your drive. It's going to put out the fire that's inside of you. And so it's like, just be like this King of Wands. Just go for it. Just start, just start. Just start and it's okay to make mistakes. If you make mistakes, it's not the end of the world. I get the sense that you're the type of person who is really good on their feet anyways, that is really good with change, that is able to lead other people through change. Like you could have your own business, maybe you're wanting to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you are wanting to be an entrepreneur as well. So that's the message I'm hearing for you, is to really go for it, to really prioritize your free will, your autonomy, to really manifest your dreams. It's not just for you, it's also for others. To be focused on whatever skill, whatever goal, whatever business that you want. It's just something you have to do. It's something you have to do for yourself, for your health, for your personal life. Like it's like, when you're unhappy and you're living a life according to someone else's timeline, someone else's blueprint, I guess we'll call it, it's going to affect every part of your life, right? And you don't want to sacrifice yourself for other people. I don't know if it's other people, for whatever it is. You don't want to sacrifice, like, and I just get the sense is like, you just like, even like I'm seeing this image of like having to wear a suit, like, say like working in a place where you have to dress a certain way, you have to follow a certain dress code, you have to, have your hair a certain way, you gotta, and it's so like uptight. Like I'm just getting this feeling of like someone having their hands around my neck. It's like just uptight. Like you need to breathe, or like, when you're wearing pants, if you've ever worn pants that are way too tight and you just had a meal or something, And it's like, oh, like, you know, it's just way too tight. It's restrictive, you know, and, you know, perhaps there's a lot of fear that's lurking within you. And so that's why it's like sometimes the best thing is not to think about it, right? Don't think too much about it. Just jump in, right? There's this, I have this thing on my vision board right over here. It says, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. You know, so it's just jumping right in. It's like sometimes that's the best way. It reminds me of like jumping in a pool that's cold. You know how some people dip their toe in, and then some people are just like, you know, like, fuck it, I'm just gonna jump in, and then it's like you adapt to it quickly, and you're the type of person that will adapt very, very quickly. Like that's one of your strengths. So it's you know, just do your best to just even maybe have affirmations, maybe even have a vision board, you know, since I brought up my vision board, you know, and just remember that, like, you know, being in flow for you is really paramount for your mental well-being, your you know, your physical well-being, like your well-being in all areas. Okay, because and once you do start really living your life out in this way, it's going to be so much easier for you to forgive the past, forgive the people who maybe have, you know, pushed certain agendas on you, and to forgive yourself for, you know, it's like when somebody, have you ever, like, you know, I think this has happened to many people where it's like, oh, I should have done this. Why didn't I do this before? I should have just done this way before. Like, why was I so hesitant? Why was I so worried about it? You know, and I get that feeling coming from you, right? Is like, oh, I should have done this ages ago. Like, what was I so worried about? You know? So yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna get this card out of the way because you don't want to be this guy. You don't want to be this guy. You want to be this guy right here. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see the difference between the two of them. This guy's so over it. Like, he's over here with the three of air. Like fuck my life, you know. And needing to like rest and recuperate and that's another thing is like for you to be sort of like disconnected and not in flow with the work that you do, you're always going to be needing to recover right after. Whereas if you're working on the stuff that you do want to work with, you're always going to be in flow. It's going to energize you, and that's one of the ways that you're going to know is how you feel, right? How do you feel when you're done? Do you feel energized? Do you feel excited? Do you feel like there's an inner fire that's been, like, it's like this. I keep referring to this, like, you know, when you're like making the fire bigger and you're putting, is it oxygenating the fire, or is it putting out your inner fire, you know? So just always be very mindful of that. And when in doubt, just jump in and just try it. I mean, if something doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not the end of the world, and it's not a big deal. It just is what it is, right? So that is your reading group 2. I hope it was helpful for you. If you liked it, please give me a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Take care, guys. Bye. Okay, group 3 with the Crazy Lace Agate right here. You selected the Thinker card, number 44. All right, so what do you need to hear? So, you know, for you, I would, for group 3, I would say, like, don't. This has to do with the relationship, okay? So, like, I gotta say, like, you know, don't drive yourself crazy over this person, right? So I'm seeing the King of Pentacles right here. You know, you look at this guy, or it could be a female, doesn't matter, but someone who you really could see yourself with, right? As just the ideal partner for you with this Two of Cups right here. It's just the perfect ideal partner. You see yourself as, you know, just him, you know, him or her being such a good fit for you, you know, maybe has qualities that you admire and vice versa. And you just see yourself as wanting to have a future with this person, a relationship with this person. You want to build something with this person. And so, but there's this sense of like, perhaps not having the best past or having our past experiences in the mix. And that sort of overshadowing or coming into play. It's like having baggage, right? With how we, I don't want to say feel about this person, but for example, like say you've had people screw you over, you've had people use you, whatever happened in the past that wasn't so good in your past relationships. It's like, okay, so I guess what I'm trying to say is like there's an element of baggage being brought in to, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're outwardly, openly putting baggage on this person or treating them as such that now they have to pay the price. Like it could be that case for some people, for some people, but for others it could just be that you're suspicious of this person. It's like, is this too good to be true? And, okay, so the message that you need to hear is to sort of like give up control of how this is going to play out. It says it right here, first quarter moon in Taurus, release control, right? Like just let go of control. Like, like when I just said let go of control, something just subtly came to mind of like sort of expectations, right? Expectations, not just expectations of what it's supposed to look like, but how you perceive things to be. So here's just a really cheesy example. Like this is a really bad example, but whatever just came to mind. It's like, did he open the door for me? If he doesn't open the door for me, then that means that da 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 da. Like, you know what I mean? Like just having these sort of these like criteria or these things like, oh well, if he doesn't get back to me in this amount of time, then da 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 da, right? Then he must be talking to other people, or she must be this or that. Like, so it's talking about like letting go of control, and instead and not overthinking it. Like you don't have to overthink this connection, right? To a point that it's like, what you really are being asked to focus on is your own future, your own plans, right? So with prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus is like, I just get this like spirit wants you to focus on your own plans with this 11th house for the future, right? What is it that you need to do to prepare for this type of person? Now that you see that there is this ideal person that is, in the picture, like say this person wasn't in the picture, even if this person doesn't even turn out to be the person that you think that they are, which, that could be a possibility, but it doesn't look like that. But, it could be a possibility. It's like, how are you going to prepare? Are you practically, like, practically speaking, in a place that, like, you're prepared for this type of connection to take place, and since we're talking about Taurus, it has to do with like practicality, like, plans, like, do you have a plan for what you want to do? Because here it's like talking about inner earth, base chakra, strength and security, laying foundations. I'm just getting the sense is like, do you have your shit together, right? Are your foundations set? I'm talking about like your basic things, your security within yourself, your sense of self, how you feel about yourself. Like, have you done your healing work? Are you able to accommodate such a person that is this great and this amazing? So it's like, really, because you don't want to miss this opportunity, right, with this person by sometimes, because sometimes when we get a little bit fixated on this person, it's like, well, it's almost like you're manifesting stuff you don't want to manifest based on overthinking and the past and this and that, whereas you can be focused on yourself, right? Focused on yourself, focused on your own healing, focused on your finances, right? Focused on, things that are going to bring you up. I'm talking about in like the 3D, right? Because, like it's just a fact of life. Like we have to set ourselves up. Is your health in good order? Are you eating right? Are you getting enough rest? You don't have to meditate, but is your fitness in order? Are you secure financially, emotionally? Have you let go of the past? And this person perhaps will help you let go of the past in the sense of like, sometimes when you meet someone new and you have done some healing work, again, it's like they might trigger things within you. So it's like taking the time to figure out like how are you, when they do trigger you, how are you going to respond to that? Like what are you going to do for yourself to ground yourself? And things like that, right? Even here with this self-care card, aromatherapy, again, I'm getting a lot of sensuality, with this Taurus aromatherapy, just really doing things for yourself, like self-care. Because you really have to let this one. You can't, I just get, sometimes when we meet someone that we think is perfect, it's like we want to just get attached to it, and like it creates like, what's the word? What does it create? Like not obsession, but it just becomes too much on our spirit, right? It becomes too much. It throws us off balance. We get too attached, or like maybe even a codependency. I don't know why I'm getting codependency with this. With Six of Air, things are looking up. End of a difficult situation, taking a trip. So I really feel like this person is like a breath of fresh air for you. But like also this transition that I'm seeing here is also in reference to like just believing that if it's meant to work out, it's going to work out, and it's going to happen how it happens. And give this person their space. Like they may have things that they're working on and that they're healing from, and maybe they also have to get their shit together too, right? Because there's like a lot of elements that go into having this ideal relationship, a healthy relationship, So like be confident in yourself. Be confident that, you're deserving of this. That, all you got to do is continue to work on yourself and do what you need to do. Let go of the past with the Six of Cups, the Five of Swords, at times that, people have done things to you that, just really hurt you, Believe in your own beauty, and that's inner beauty, outer beauty, all of that as well, because this person, if they are this ideal person, they're going to feel that way about you as well, right? And they're going to love who you are on the inside, and that's why it's like here we have beauty and then we have inner earth. Okay, so it's like I'm getting the sense of like this person is going to love your inner beauty, and like this place that you've cultivated within yourself, this peaceful, serene place. Like they're going to look to you and love your energy. They're going to love your energy. Okay, they're going to love your energy. It's going to be like a sweet aroma to them, and so there's so much potential that this connection has, and I see that it's at the very, very beginning with this prosperity lies ahead. So it's just, really about laying the right foundations, and that takes time. Don't be in a rush to get going and to push this ahead and feel like, oh well, this person's great, I gotta hurry up. It's like, no, take your time, like this bull right here, just you can't push it, and I get the sense with this person as well, it's like he's like a bull, Like you can't get a bull to move until it's ready to move. So, be patient, right? Be patient, and be confident in yourself. What better way when than doing your best for your own self, for your self-care, for your inner work, for your outer work, for your physical beauty, for all of it, for your finances. Just take the best care that you can of yourself and of your future. And regardless of this person works out or not, you're going to be set. And if it's not this person, then you're going to be able to attract someone else that's perhaps even better and or even more ready as well. Do you know what I'm saying? But definitely, this is not something to overthink. This is something, it's almost like this person maybe just came in to give you that extra little push, that extra little boost to say, hey, really, really say you were waiting for a relationship, or you didn't even know you wanted a relationship. It's just sort of highlighted. It's like, well, how ready am I? How ready am I for this life that I said that I wanted? Say you do want to, have a marriage or kids or like a family life or a foundation with someone else. It's like, well, how stable is your foundation, right? So that's the message for you, is like to really, really focus on yourself and your future, and all the things that are going to create stability in your life, that are going to lay a really, really good foundation for you, like in the 3D, energetically. All of those things are very, very important. And yeah, and I think that everything will work out. But certainly Spirit does not want you to get too, I don't want to say too attached, but I don't want to use the word needy either. But it's like, I'm sure you've probably heard this too before. It's like, yeah, it's like when you become too attached to an outcome, you start to mess with the manifestation, right? So don't get too attached to the outcome, and allow it to happen the way that it's supposed to happen. So just ease up a little bit, because that could ruin the opportunity. You know what I mean? And so the past is the past, and yeah, just remember the past is the past, and now it's time to focus on your future and what you can do today to put yourself in a position to be an ideal partner to the person that you think is an ideal partner for you. Okay, so all the best of luck to you, and I will see you guys in the next reading. Like if you like this video, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Okay, bye guys. Hi, group 4 with the Kyanite and the cat card. Speak your truth. Have strength, faith, and conviction in your voice. It has never been more needed. So what do you need to hear at this time? So, okay, so this message has a lot to do with communication and your throat chakra, speaking your truth. It says it right here. Plus we have the Kyanite. And okay, there's a few things I want to say right here. And I feel like right now you're in a place where, you're really being challenged to just communicate, to speak what's within you. Even when with this Two of Swords right here, you don't really see what is going to come after that. You may not even understand like why you're being compelled to be more open with not just communicating, right? It's about like speaking about what's in your heart, what's in your, what your ideals are, what you truly think, who you truly are, type of thing, right? Because under this we have the pentagram, harmony, protection, idealism. And this is reminding me of when I first when I started to go through my awakening process, and there was a point in it where I started to just speak up at all times, and I started with family first, because that seemed to be a more comfortable place to start. Plus we were in lockdown, And so I'm just getting the same sense for you. And at the time, I didn't really realize why it was, but it was like I was kept getting pushed, like, share this about yourself, all these like occult sort of things about what I was into. Like before, I would sort of hide away and keep a lot of things to myself, right? It didn't mean that I wasn't communicating. Like I communicated a lot, but I never communicated about the things that were really, really important to me, like my beliefs, things that I thought were different. I would watch my shows or my documentaries on my own or with people who I felt would understand it or accept it, right? And so even though my family isn't really keen on the type of stuff that I'm into, and I knew that, and there was a lot of jokes around it, and sort of like people poking at it, and I don't want to say disrespecting it, but like some people might look at it as disrespect, like just saying like ignorant stuff. Like if you ask me, it's ignorant, right? And so at the time I didn't, so this is reminding me of that. So at the time I didn't really realize, why it was that I was being pushed to like be more vocal, be more open about this, right? And I felt like it was like chakra work that I was doing, like there was a blockage on my throat. In fact, it's reminding me, like I made this, and maybe this could be something helpful for you. I did this with my niece. One of the things was I created and I made this talking stick. Like it was literally a stick that we found outside, and I decorated it. And so it was supposed to represent, here it is, I'll show you guys. It's a stick. So I got it and then I decorated it with like jewelry and things like that, right? So I started doing all these like little things that I was like called to do. And it was just things that, to help me communicate more better, to feel more confident, like expressing certain things, because it's like, I don't know if you guys ever get this feeling, where, when you're holding something back, and it almost feels like, or say you're holding back tears, or you're in a situation where you're not expressing yourself and something is really bothering you. And now I get the sensation more when I do it, because I don't really do it that much anymore. It's like, but I used to feel this like knot in my throat, like I'm supposed to be talking and I'm not talking. Anyway, what you need to hear, so back to your reading, I feel like this is very relevant, because I'm getting the sense that like you don't necessarily know why you're being called to communicate more, to speak your truth. Like, and when I say your truth, I mean like what's really important to you, here, your path, and there's a level of trust in doing this, in putting yourself out there, and your path. Dear Lord, help me trust that there's a plan far beyond what I can see through my fears and illusions. So this is like about challenging certain fears that you have, putting yourself out there. And I'm almost seeing like, like a small area. You're starting small, and then it continues to grow outward and outward and outward, like your voice. It's almost like a sound vibration, right? It's like it starts with a small group, and then a bigger group, and a bigger group, and it keeps going out there, because it appears that there is some type of vision that capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain, selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. So maybe there's something here about where you're going to have to speak your vision to people, right? And so it's like doing the prep work, right? To start, because like you're going to be manifesting something, that's for sure. Whatever it is, you probably already know what it is, or maybe you're at the beginning stages of it with this Page of Pentacles. It's like you have this opportunity coming in, and it's like, when we're thinking about manifestation, again, we start at the crown chakra. You have the idea, or you have like, maybe you're working down the chakra system from the crown to the third eye to the vision of what that is with the visionary, and then now you're at the part of the throat where it's like now you have to start to be able to communicate this to other people, right? In order to make it happen, to manifest it here with this Magician card, right? So it's this sense of like, having to put it out there and get it out there, regardless, right? So it's like this is inner work. That's what I'm getting with this Eight of Pentacles. It's like this is the inner work that needs to get done, because it does. This is, it does tie into your self confidence. If you are selling your visions, and when it doesn't have to be, oh, you have an idea and you're pitching it. It doesn't even have to mean that. It could be something that you're trying to become, someone that you're trying to be, and you're going to have to be able to speak in that way and do it with confidence for people to buy into it, right? Like it's like going to a doctor or a surgeon or something like that who is speaking like he doesn't really know what he's talking about. Like people want to hear confidence coming through, and that's what I'm getting here with the world. There's two of them right here, and it's just like really standing, and because I'm seeing Leo is like really being confident with your communication, really, because it's like you're closing out a cycle over here. You haven't quite closed it out, right? There's still a little bit more left work to do. Like, and I'm seeing it here with this Baba Yaga card and patience. Her holding this, it's like, oh, you just have a little bit more to go. Just be patient. You have a little bit more to go, right? And then this is like another thing that you really need to like activate is your throat, in order to really get the ball rolling and to really move forward, right? So it's like here we have the Leo card again. So here it's like a lot of I'm seeing the Leo, the lion right here, and being humble. With being humble, I don't know, maybe like what am I getting with being humble? I think maybe this is because it's like you're at the beginning of this speaking of your truth. You know, you don't have to come out super strong. You can come out and express yourself in a gentle way, right? But in a way that is is proud, really believes, has confidence, but is still humble at the same time. I mean, it doesn't have to be in a way that you're like shoving your ideas or your visions down other people's throats, right? I mean, not to say that you were going to do that, but it's really just having conviction in yourself and really cultivating that, right? And then fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. So, you know, I'm getting this to go with this Ten of Cups in reverse and this Page of Swords. So when it's talking about the extremes of life, I think once we start really expressing our heart's desire or things that we truly believe in, it leaves us a little bit more vulnerable to getting hurt, to people not believing in us, to people thinking maybe we're a little nuts for believing. Like there's so many stories of people who had a vision of something and people sort of like put it down or knocked it down or you know and that sort of thing. And so it's like I think for you it's like don't take any of it too personal. Just keep an open mind and just be curious to because you're gonna and just keep an open mind, like who's gonna support you. You're gonna find out who's really gonna support you in this time when you start to really express the visions that you have, so then you can start to manifest them, right? And so like people are either going to support you or they're not, or they're going to be indifferent, right? And it's just really about being open, and being adaptable to that. And, that's what I get with the Page of Swords. He's very adaptable. She's very adaptable, to circumstances, to people, to reading people, to seeing what's going on. And like, it's sort of, it helps you like sort of separate the wheat from the chaff sort of thing of who's going to who's more in alignment with you and who maybe isn't in this particular way. So this is really a message that in order for you to really manifest and move forward and to close out the last cycle and to really embark on something new and to really make yourself the person who can manifest this vision that you have. It's going to require you to start speaking up regardless of whether you know where it comes from, where the not the opportunity, what am I trying to say, with people. Like say you have a business, right, and you're going out and you're talking to different people about it, and it's like, you know, you're speaking to everyone about it. Some people are going to be into it, some people are not going to be into it. You don't really know who's going to help you, who's going to be into it. And that's why it's so important to just keep an open mind, and it's almost like developing a thick skin around it, right? And that's what I get with extremes of life is it's, you know, there's going to be people who are probably really going to disappoint you, people that maybe you thought are really going to support you and your visions, but they don't, right? And it's part of the process, right? And sometimes those people will come back around if you just have a little bit of patience. Or maybe you're gonna realize like, hey, I have to go it alone. Like I'm thinking a lone wolf right here. You know, maybe that's what your instincts will tell you. Like, I got to go this alone because the people that I'm around right now aren't supporting me. They aren't wanting me to work on what I want. So maybe it's like you have to become a little bit more independent and work on your own use your own resources to manifest what it is that you're envisioning, right? So and maybe this is the last part of this cycle that you're trying to close off is removing some of the people who maybe don't belong, and also getting rid of the fears, right? You do have some fears that you need to move past as well, right? Or it could just be the illusion that maybe, you know, because sometimes we think, you know, there's people that I've told certain things to that I've wanted to do, and I was quite surprised with the people who ended up supporting me, and then the people who I thought they would be so for it, and then it turns out that they're absolutely don't even, like, they feel some crazy type of way about it that I really never even expected or thought. So yeah. So this is really just about working on yourself and working on it almost feels like character development, and it's like you know, in order for you to, sometimes in life you have to move forward, even though with your vision. I mean there's so many accounts of this, and like you know, saying like different scriptures or whatever, or just even in the business world, where you have to make the decision to move forward, even though emotionally you may have taken a couple hits with like the people around you, right? But it only sort of strengthens you and your character and lets you know that, you know, maybe you don't need certain people, and that maybe you can do it all on your own, and that you're strong enough to do it on your own. So yeah, so that is your reading, group 4. It really relates to your throat and speaking your truth. And, you know, that's really what's going to help to propel you forward. And I think that's also another way that it's like you're really surrendering, like it's like a form of acceptance. I'm almost getting like you're setting yourself up for change, you know, once you start speaking it out. And then now, like I said, it's like you're going to be able to see like who's who can play a role, who can't play a role, you know, and it's going to just change things up, and then it's going to get you into alignment, and so that you can start really doing the things that you need to be doing. And yeah, it's going to get you out of this 2 of Swords, you know, of not really being able to see what's coming next. Like it will like illuminate. I feel like it's going to illuminate a lot of things for you for going forward. So yeah, so all the best of luck to you. If you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Bye guys.